Hello YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is Airport CEO Quick Tip. So, one of the things that I've seen a lot of people struggle with, who are just picking up the game here, is, well, getting your first bit of income coming in, and also just understanding some of the more intricacies when it comes to planning your taxiways. So in this video, I'm going to show you both of them. Now, I would like to point out that I have started this, it's a brand new game, on the extreme difficulty level. Yes, we only have $250,000 in funds to play with. That is more than enough. Because I'm going to show you the easiest way to get yourself at least a baseline set of income before you start getting all fancy with the baggage claims and the restaurants and all that good stuff. Anyway, let's begin. So the first thing you need to make some money here is a runway. A small runway is the only one that is currently available, and as you can see, it costs $100 grand. That is a significant chunk of our starting funds, but we can't do without it. So we will place one down. Another item that we cannot do without is a small ATC tower. This thing is absolutely required for you to do any sort of flights whatsoever. So we're just going to go ahead and plop one down. I'm not really fussing over too much with the placements here. I'm just doing this more for demonstrative purposes. But when it comes to the taxiways, though, that is going to be more important here. So speaking of, let's get our taxiways going. Now, one of the problems that I see, and is very easy to fall into, is, a plane lands and then turns around and taxis all the way back the way it came on the runway and then finally leaves. And that ties up the runway for the entire time. We don't want that. So let me show you a way to get your small runway working efficiently. We're going to take our taxiway foundation here. Grass is fine for now. We're going to pull it down a couple of squares like that, and we're going to run it all the way down the length of the small runway here. May seem excessive, but it is useful. Very useful. And then, just to sort of ratchet in our money-making endeavors here, let's get a couple of small stands here, because I'm going to show you how to make some moolah with general aviation. So we're going to do one, 2, and then we're going to want to leave 3 spaces there in the middle, like so. And we're going to need a little bit of a taxiway down here and up here. Now note that we're not actually connecting the airport, the runway, and all this stuff to the main road. If you're dealing with just general aviation, you actually need very little in the way of infrastructure. And that's a good thing for you, especially if you're playing on extreme. Right then. Now, as far as getting your stuff actually built, we do need to go here to actually it's economy, contracts. You're generally only going to get one building contract. Just go ahead and sign it. As you go through the game, more efficient and more lucrative building contracts will become available. But for now, we'll take the one we got right now. Right then. Now, for our contractors here, you may be tempted to just deploy a couple of them and just let them pick away at things. Because there is no on-deploy cost per person, you can go ahead and summon as many or as few people as you want, and the only thing they'll cost you is hourly. But the more of them you summon, the faster everything gets built, the less in hourly wages, because the sooner you can dismiss them. So, for a job like this, let's just get everybody. Alright guys, I will see you on the flip side while we wait for all this to get built. Okay, we're just on the precipice of bankruptcy here. I decided to get 2 more small stands here because the more of those we get, the better. I'll show you why in a moment. But we will be clawing our way back from the brink, I promise. So, a couple of things we want to do here. We want to go ahead and open our runway. That is job numero uno. Numero duo, we're going to need to open our stands. But in order to open our stands, we need to define the taxiway. This, my friends, is where it becomes important the way you do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the very tippy-toe end of our runway and drag it down to here. We're then going to map it all the way over to here and connect it up to the tippy-toe end of this one. And then once we get our stands built here and our little foundation, there we go. We can go here and loop-de-loop it around down here. Perfect. They'll fill in the stands momentarily. Now then, the other thing that you're going to need to do to make this work for you, and because the game kind of requires it, is that you need to put in blocks. You need to get hold points, rather. So what you want to do here is you want to sort of set up holds logically at all your intersections and before the runway, not knowing which direction this runway is going to go. As of the recording of this video, they have not implemented directional controls on your runway, so the planes more or less decide. But luckily, when one goes one direction, they all kind of go that same direction. So, but you still need to plan ahead. So what we're going to do is, again, put a hold point here, put a hold point there, and then 1, 2, before, whoops, here, like so. And now we're going to want to mark these for general aviation and also open them. Oh yeah, you got to unpause for like a millisecond in order for it to count. Boonk, there it goes. Now we can open them. Because we are about to go under, but we are going to be saved by the wonders of general aviation. See that little general aviation green, that little green plane there? That means somebody wants to come play, and by come play I mean they want to park their airplane at our thing. So let's open up our airport here. You don't need to do any of these services, even though ramp agent things, general aviation doesn't need ramp agents. And we're going to always accept GA. So as soon as those general flights come around and say, hey, can I land here? If we got space, you automatically say yes. So let's do it. Let's unpause here. So we got our GA panel, accept. All right, we got that. Let's open you, general aviation. And we'll dismiss all of our contractors momentarily. General aviation. Again, make sure you dismiss them all when you are done or they will bleed you dry. That should cut down the hemorrhaging for the moment. So they're all vamoosing, but we got what we need. Yeah, our funds will take another hit, but I think we'll be in good shape. And we should be getting some general aviation flights coming very soon. There's our first one. Now, notice here, as soon as he touched down, we went into the green. The sheer act of using your runway once gives you $400. And by the very nature of our little setup here, yes, you pay us $400 to land, you park for a while, and then eventually they're going to have to take off again. That's another $400. Not to mention, as soon as they sit here, they are going to be ticking away, making us 25 a pop here. Now imagine that times 6. that is what's going to be able to propel us. See, we've got another one coming on here. We just hit up another one. Here we go. So it seems this is the direction they've chosen. It really doesn't matter one way or the other, because here's the thing: when these guys decide it's time to leave, they're not going to, taxi all the way back up here to try and get there. They'll just taxi right up here. So you'll get people coming and leaving, but they don't stay on the runway for very long. See, here we go. Here's this guy. He's going to hang a left once this guy makes room. He's going to wait his turn, wait for the runway to clear. Doesn't take long for the runway to clear, and off he goes, and another $400 in our pocket. So that, my friends, is how you efficiently operate a single runway. And also how you can make some moolah in the beginning of the game. Now, compared to some of the scratch you can pull in later on, especially once you have a full commercial setup going with, with medium flights, yeah, this gets dwarfed by that. But you know what? In the early game, it's good to have a little bit of income, and also just to sort of test your infrastructure with the general aviation planes before you jump, millions of bucks in and start getting commercial flights in, only to find that they can't find their way around your place. So that is my tip for you. So if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback's always welcome. I will be doing a full and proper strategy and tactics series on this game as my mastery of it grows. But I wanted to share with you this little quick opener tip to getting started with it, just in case it might be useful to you. So until next time, Pinstar out.